Shalom, Michael here, Street Corner Witnessing Tour, Queen Creek, Arizona. May Yoruba open your eyes, your hearts, and your ears to his tongue, basically. Brukata Yoruba Lahini Hamela Kalam, Pasakaim, Pasako Zen, and Pasakleb Ka. In the Alatab Damshe, Bashim Yishom Mashiach. Oh, man. Anyway, again, my second attempt here. Try to make it quick. We've been studying the calendar and trying to, get it right, sighting the moon, conjunction, whatever. And in one of my past videos, or several of my past videos, I always do the mindset of the year that so-called Israel believes we're in since creation, 5,784. So I do that Strong's number. I bring it up in the Strong's and in Hebrew, and I try to remember the Greek too. Sometimes only Hebrew, which is what I like the best. But anyway, since we've been studying the calendar, I've run across the BibleFacts.org, which is Ken Johnson, a Calvinist or Calvary Church guy, who has become a doctor in the study and interpretation of the Dead Sea Scrolls found in Qumran. And Qumran has been a wonderful the Zadok priests or whatever, the righteous ones that came out of Jerusalem during the time of 120 years, they say, before Yeshua was born, or around that. Perhaps that's where John the Baptist, Mary Magdalene, and Mother Mary, and Yeshua himself hung out, because it was a righteous sect. And again, back in 2008, I think it was, maybe it was 2009, we had Jimmy Barfield come as a Copper Scroll Project guy, and he broke the code to the Copper Scroll, which was found in Qumran in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and of all the treasures that were buried there in the time of Jeremiah and all the prophets of old, when they knew the temple was going to be destroyed. And so I really do respect everything that the Essenes, so-called children of light, teach, and their ways and their lifestyles, amazing finds, and I've gleaned on a lot of it, and I'm not going to tell you what I've gleaned on, but one of these days, if I ever see you face to face, it's an amazing understanding that I've gotten from it all. But anyway, through the BibleFacts.org with Ken Johnson, the Essene calendar has us at the biblical years since creation is at 5,948. We're in that year, meaning we have 52 years to go for the final jubilee of the 6,000-year plan of man's reign upon the earth. And so everything's coming together. So again, I usually take that number and put it in the Strong's Concordance, Hebrew and Greek. Now, I forgot the Greek, and but I did the Hebrew, and the Hebrew is like Ayin Lamed Yod Lamed. So they translated it as El Eel, like a Neel. And it's basically a furnace to melt metal or gold, a furnace. So maybe this year and the next couple years is we are to walk through the furnace to get rid of the dross. We're to cleanse our temples to get the preparing of the last 50 years of the coming of our King. And so, I'm not saying it takes 50 years to cleanse your temple, but when you went into the Kodoshim, the Holy of Holies, the priest had to be pure and clean. And so if we're going there, I think it's the same thing. And the basics is to confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Yeshua is our Mashiach. He was born of flesh and crucified on the tree, the cross, the stake, I believe it was the cross, and that he went to the grave and rose to everlasting life on the third day and is now at the right hand of the Father. That's your gate. That's the key. That's the start of the cleansing process. And within all that, believe me, truth cannot be a lie. Yeshua is his name. Within all that, I just hope you get it. That, basically, not to bounce around a lot, but basically the latest study is I think from, no, don't I, his name is John Maxwell, I think, kind of out there in a lot of things. But another thing is that he says that the Queen and the King James, basically the Queen of England, is basically not of English descent anymore. That the Nazis come in and they've overtaken and they're playing the game as the English bloodline, but it's actually the Nazis. So anyway, we know for a fact that Mother Mary didn't speak English, and we know for a fact that the Qumran was where the Zadokite priests hung out, and when most of the scrolls were in Paleo Hebrew, the picture language Moses wrote in, and the modern day Hebrew Aramaic font, just the modern day Hebrew of today. There is other scrolls, but most of them were Hebrew. And so we know that John the Baptist, Mother Mary, and Mary Magdalene and Yeshua himself all hung out there. So again, I will put the link as soon as the video uploads, and then as soon as I go back to the video, I will do the description link of the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar, the link to what date it is, and that. And then I will also put the Strong's number Hebrew and the Strong's number Greek, which I didn't get the Greek, so in my head right now. So, but I'll put that in there, and we'll see what the message means. And I believe with all my heart that we're close. It's better than 200 and some years away, or whatever. 200, where Hebrew, the Israeli thing is at 5,080, 800, or 5,784, 5784. So, meaning that we would have would be 216 years to go yet. So 52 sounds better. I might make it. Moses climbing mountains at 120. That'll put me close to being there. So within all that, again, Qumran does a solar calendar, the Essenes. Israel does a solar lunar calendar. And we're trying to study and figure it all out ourselves. Conjunction, sighting of the moon, Genesis 1, all these things, again, more important than anything, we weren't there, we don't know. So we're gleaning off of what other people have wrote down, taught, dug up, or whatever. I believe that if you just confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Yeshua is your Messiah, that all things will be revealed in truth up until the point that he comes. And my understanding is you don't have to worry about it. Once you confess him as your Savior, your atonement, your Kapora, he is our salvation, then, and your King, then you become his responsibility. He's going to personally come and get you, as far as I know, especially if you do the work and build treasure in heaven. And we're just to go forward from there. So within all that, may Brukatah Yeruvave Lehenu HaMelech Olam, may Yeruvave Baruch bless you, and may Yeshua fill your everlasting heart. By the way, Yeruvave is Lord, L-O-R-D, in the biblical text, and Elohim is God in the biblical text, and Yeshua is Jesus in the biblical text. English wasn't created, and believe me, if you're not that unto or take away, that's a pretty important verse. It's in the Bible, as you know it, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Techalim, the songs and the writings, and the major minor prophets, and the Brit Hadashah, the giving renewed covenant. So within all that, I thank you all. I hope this message enlightens you to an everlasting shalom, peace. And the Al Tavdam Shebeshim Shom Mashiach.